Saturday the 5th of March and it's time for the second recce of the Calderdale hike. At last, it's a sunny morning, quite chilly, quite cold. It was an overnight frost, but lots of sunshine, great visibilities. I think when I get on the moor tops it's going to be quite wet. I've got some gaiters to put on for that, but the main thing is the visibility should be there. So behind me is Littleborough, and what I've done today, if you saw the first recce video, I took the route as far as Withens Cross, about the 10-mile point, and then I made my own way back to the station at Ripponden Bridge. So this time what I've done, rather than take a train to Todmorden, go back to Withens Cross on a repeat and then follow the Pennine Way to Blackstone Edge, I've taken a train to Littleborough and I'm now heading on the old Blackstone Edge road. I'll get to the White House and then I'm effectively rejoining the Calderdale hike, and I'll be rejoining the Pennine Way and I'll be going over Blackstone Edge. So I think the first 2.5 to 3 miles will be devoted to getting to the White House via a mixture of tarmac and bridleways. If there aren't any cars, I do a quick spin here and you might see the high-lying ground behind. That's Blackstone Edge, and that skyline that we saw, I'll be heading south on the Pennine Way. One of the interesting points of Blackstone Edge are all the different eras of road building. So what you can see there with the truck and the van and the car is the current A58 main road. What I'm on here is it's obviously had something done to it in more recent times, but it's the line at least of an older version of that road. And perhaps just looking towards that rocky skyline, you come down, you can see a diagonal dark line. That's the line of an old Roman road and subsequent medieval roads, and there's a section on there that's almost perfectly preserved, a cobbled road with a gutter and so on, which is reflecting yet another era. Given that the Romans were here, that gives us almost 2,000 years of Pennine crossings from Rochdale, Littleborough, coming towards Ripponden, Sowerby, Halifax. So I've arrived at Blackstone Edge. Behind me, the white building, is the White House, and I'm now joining Pennine Way to head to the rocks of Blackstone Edge. This is as good a time as any to take a look at Greater Manchester. You can see there the outliers of Littleborough, Rochdale, high-rise buildings in Manchester, probably a glimpse of Oldham too. Quite a cityscape. You can see there some of the rocks of Blackstone Edge. They do feature in the Yorkshire Gritstone guidebook. I came out a couple of times in the 90s, but I couldn't find anything at my kind of grade. There was lots of old, easy thrutchy chimneys that were always wet, dark, mossy things. And then there were lots of harder technical climbs from the modern era that were way too hard for me, up in the 6As and 6Bs. But yeah, Blackstone Edge also has strong connections to the Chartists in the 1830s and 40s, because the radicals of particularly the Greater Manchester area were looking for somewhere more secluded, and also after the terrible events at St Peter's Fields in Manchester in 1819, the Peterloo massacre, when cavalry was brought to bear on a large assembly of peaceful protesters. I think then subsequent generations of radicals, they wanted somewhere that the cavalry couldn't be mobilised at short notice, and they would meet here. And there are famous Chartist songs, there are paintings, lots of records of the Chartists meeting up here. I would imagine it would be very very dramatic to hear a good radical orator in this kind of setting, with the wind and the cloud movement. Very Wagnerian. We might catch a glimpse here of Hollingworth Lake, which is a kind of a little seaside resort for the people in the Littleborough and Rochdale area. It was originally built for servicing the canal that runs from Calder Valley over Walsden. It's the highest broad canal, I think that's the claim. So it's the one that runs, that we've seen on previous videos in Brighouse, Sowerby Bridge, Hebden Bridge, Todmorden, over Walsden, which lies in that direction that we're looking at now. And then it goes to Littleborough, Rochdale, and then connects with all the cotton mills in Greater Manchester. So this is Blackstone Edge top, on the edge of the escarpment. The weather's holding up so far, although there are some slightly more ominous looking darker clouds. I didn't order them, send them back. And I think now I'm going to put some gaiters on next, and then I have to follow the Pennine Way, the direction that we're looking at behind me. I follow the Pennine Way for around a mile, I think, and then I'll be, for me, on some new country. I don't know the section at all from near Windy Hill to Ripponden, so that'll all be brand new. So I'm at Windy Hill now. The noise you can hear is the M62 motorway, and if we have a quick look, the route crosses that little bridge and goes to a checkpoint just in at the edge of that A road up there. That'll be a checkpoint with some kind of water laid on. I'm not going to do that today. I'll shave another mile off, drop down here, and then my route, I think, hugs the motorway for about a quarter of a mile, and then I see those water culverts. That's the direction I'm heading in. M62. What a location. It's the engineering involved in building this thing was quite frightening. There were all kinds of earth movers and excavators getting sunk in the bogs. Workmen were getting lost in the mist at winter. and the direction that I'm pointing now is towards Scamandon and Yorkshire, and a little bit further, maybe a mile from here, is a infamous farm that's slap bang in the middle of the carriageways. You might have seen it on a recent programme about the Pennines. Quite a morning. As expected, this is fast striding alongside a significant watercourse, culvert. I'm approaching a reservoir, and then the culverts continue. You can possibly see on the hillside there a horizontal line. So crossing the culverts via a little footbridge, gaining some height and cutting underneath Dog Hill. Wouldn't want to miss that in the event. Blackstone Edge would lie at the top of that hill where the electricity pylons are. The main A58, you can maybe just see a light coloured car on it at the moment. And then we have this in-between country here where there's a network of reservoirs, water pumping stations and so on. And you can just see the edge of Ripponden there. I'm looking up valley on the Ripponden Reservoir. You can see another reservoir there, the white outflow. There's been an awful lot of rain, so from that outflow on this tranquil site to a very impressive stepped outflow down, continuing the River Ripponden and heading towards Ripponden, which is currently obscured by those trees. What a beautiful setting. Now in the event, there's meant to be a checkpoint somewhere around here, perhaps this parking area. I'm in Ripponden now, on a little old cobble road going under a bridge which carries the modern Ripponden Bank Road. Ripponden Church there. Time to gain some height. Now here is a partially obscured left turn. There. Could have easily missed that one. This should now do some contouring through these woods, just hugging the Calder Valley. Ripponden Valley, I suppose. We're not with the Calder yet. We're a bit stuck here, aren't we? Yeah, we are. I've acquired 2 equine chums who are holding the path. Hello! They've got me against a wall here. You haven't you? I think you're friendly though. Now, I'm gonna have to come round, but I can't fit through that gap, and I can't climb over this wall, so I'm kind of stuck. Now then, how's about a nice bit of straw? Hey, some of that. Bit of that straw there. Hey, there, look. What do you think of that? Nope, you're not impressed, are you? And don't go eating my thing. Way, that's it. Don't you go eating my jacket. Now then, what are we gonna do, eh? Well, this is not doing my average speed any good, is it? Come on. Come on, you're hungry, aren't you? Let's go on there. Bloody greasy on here as well. Come on. I don't think I can get past you. Bloody hell. Rock traverse extraordinaire. Now then. Oh, you've got me blocked now, haven't you? Blimey, you planned that. Yeah, you did. I have no idea what this footage is going to turn out like, but with a cat-like grace, I got past them. See ya! So I'm back on a tarmac again, contouring. Norland Moor is on my right, and very soon I'll come to the final trek point of the event, which is at a pub. I must say that the last 2.5 miles, including my encounter with the horses, was probably the worst 2 miles of the route as I know of it. It was waterlogged, exceptionally muddy. The route finding was indistinct. There were lots of sections where you were ducking under trees, and just it didn't inspire a lot of confidence really. And there was one section towards the end there where I had to go through a courtyard that looked, I was absolutely convinced it was private, but no, it was just a very indistinct footpath going through some metal gates where you had to unravel a chain to open the gates. I'm hoping that on the day of the event it'll be more distinct than that, and there'll have been so many people through in front of me that they've given up on the chain by that point. Well, that was quite tricky, crossing the River Ripponden there. I had to drop down and go through a kind of a courtyard that, again, it wasn't apparent whether it was public access or not, but it was. A few twists and turns on a cobbled courtyard, and I'm back up now with the A road. I have to cross this and very shortly turn uphill. So this is the main A road from Sowerby Bridge to Ripponden. Which might be quite tricky to cross. Clear. Okay, and almost immediately I have to turn sharp right. Looks likely, doesn't it? Okay. I'm into the final mile now as I climb out of the valley towards Sowerby village. And at the top of these steps I come across a sea road and then make another crossing. My goodness, this will feel like fun with 25 miles in my legs. I've got 14 and a half and it's quite an effort. Old stone stairs. Yep. Well, certainly nudged my heart rate into the stratosphere. But that's the climbing done. And I'm guessing, yeah, I can see now the sea road about 100-150 yards in front. On the outskirts of Sowerby village. What I'll do, the cricket club is about a half a mile to my left. I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to turn right for Sowerby Bridge and see what's happening in the trains. But the cricket club is just up there past those final parked cars. There's an opening on the right and that would be the cricket club. So yeah, reconnaissance complete. Been quite tricky in places. I'm very glad that I scouted this. Some sections I'm tempted with 5 weeks to go, I might actually revisit them. That section that I mentioned where the horses were was very tricky. I'd like to come back on a drier day, maybe with some trail running shoes, and I'll see how it feels with shoes versus the boots that I've had on today. My heels are getting a bit tired now with 15 miles in boots. It didn't used to happen, but I've noticed the last 4-6 months my heels get sore now when I've done anything around 15 miles plus. So yeah, trail shoes I think with extra cushioning are definitely the way ahead if I'm going to do 26 miles. I haven't touched the trekking poles today at all. There were 1 or 2 sections where I was sorely tempted to get them out. So again, I think another recce in drier conditions with shoes, and I'll see if I really need poles. But other than that, I think I've learned an awful lot. So, as is customary, I hope you found it as interesting as I have. That's it for this episode. See you next time.